Everybody, it is Kevin again with the Words of the Age, and welcome back to the channel. And for all of you who have been signing up, thank you very much. That is an honor. Not that I care about numbers or any of that, but it is nice that someone's paying attention. So I'm continuing to go through the visions that God's given me. This is the next series. This came in on May 9th, 2012, when I was praying at the International House of Prayer in Pasadena. So again, I'm just going to go through them. Many of these do not have interpretations. So if you feel the Lord has prompted you in any respect, or if you have actually qualifying questions, because sometimes maybe there's a detail you're not sure about, like a color of something, or what exactly did that thing look like, just email me and ask. So I'm just going to go through them and take them before the Lord. Vision 1, the dark claw. There was a white plane and a series of cracks formed on it. So again, white plane, fat, Euclidean plane, and cracks started to form on it. Then breaking through the cracks, a large black stalk arose with a claw at the end, sort of like a plant. Sort of like a what is it? Little House of Little House of Horrors or whatever that is. The one with the plant in it that ate things and people were singing. I'm totally diminishing the seriousness of this vision with that. But anyway, this claw came, and it had a claw at the end, and it snapped and tried continuously to catch me. Oh yeah, I was floating above it. It was trying to get me, like this. And I held high above it as it continued to snap. Then after a while, small white flowers appeared at the tips of the claws and became a full blossom of flowers. So as this thing was snapping, and I'm hanging above it, flowers began to appear on the tips. It then began to transform into a tree of the Lord. And the stalk now and the body became the branches. Right, okay, so basically this thing, which was horrifying and trying to get me, began to get transformed and turned into a tree of the Lord, and the claws were branches. That was quite nice. Vision 2, the night forest. This is beautiful. There was a night forest silhouetted against a dark sky. Above it was a perfect ring of fire of the Lord slowly turning. This held for some time. Then the vision rose up above to look down into it. Inside the forest was a small clearing. A gathering of people formed a perfect circle around a campfire, and the same fire of the Lord appeared over their heads. Then a column of white light appeared between the people and the heavens, and everything went to pure white. So it was that the people were connected to heaven, and then everything just went whoosh, and it faded to white. Okay, Vision 3, the earth wheel. I had to go back over this one because I couldn't quite remember this one entirely. There was an earth-colored wheel covered in ancient hieroglyphs that was turning quickly, and it had a square arch around it, and it was lit with like a blue light. Below it, the wheel was turning, was stamping out patterns, a multitude of patterns, like duplicates, like one right after the other. And these cascaded down a conveyor belt. Then like a river, they kind of cascaded over a cliff into a large body of water. The shore on the far side was a dim blue, but the water was black, and they vanished from sight. And that's all there was to this one. This one is fascinating. This was Vision 4, called the Machines of War. Arising in a massive dark space was a square stone plateau that was covered completely gray and colorless, almost like a stage, so just kind of floating there in space. It was brightly lit from lights shining down from a square-shaped steel lighting rig that was constructed above it. So you had the gray field and like this lighting rig over top. Everything was dark, so it was like night, and these lights were shining down, but everything was very colorless and gray. And the steel columns connected to the corners of the plateau. Yeah, so everything was connected again to this, this gray plateau. The machines of war and industry, all the same color, were rolling out from it and supernaturally dropping onto a road that was connected but below the plateau. Yeah, so here was this thing, and these machines of war were coming off, and there was like this, again, like this ramp. and they kind of like they would kind of like droop supernaturally, kind of weirdly onto this belt, and one right after the other kept coming off of this plateau, and there was a multitude, again, one after the other. Soon the road began to pull away from the plateau as the last machine made it on the road, while the rest, and as it pulled away, the ones just fell into darkness as they pulled away. So this thing pulled away, the rest plunged down into a void, and then the road connected to a large green land that seemed to be enclosed by a large round boundary. So again, this ramp came down, and it was again green field, and it was bounded. It was set. The machines then branched out into various columns, and as they continued, as they went across the field, they branched into various columns. Then those columns turned into a massive menorah that cut through the land. At the end of the columns were massive fires, and they were on the far side. So these machines bore columns into a menorah, and again, fire was on each end of the menorah. That one means something. That one definitely means something. So if the Lord speaks to you on that one, please let me know.